if you thought that you was going to see your team lift the Champions League in the next 8 years, it's probably not going to happen, lads. I'm not going to lie. I mean, Real Madrid, it's unstoppable, unstoppable, and I'm not surprised they're in a position again. Obviously, it was a bit of luck tonight due to Neuer's mistake and stuff, and obviously, I'm going off the back of just watching that game as well, watching the last games they've had and everything, and it just looks so terrifying for anyone who thought their team had a chance at winning the Champions League in the next 8 years. Because you guys have got to remember one thing about this Madrid team as well is that the players they have there right now are not the actual finished product to the project. It's going to get even worse. It's going to get even worse. You're going to have Mbappe coming in, Endrick coming in, and it's just going to get so painful for anyone who wants to do anything in Europe. Obviously, luckily for me, I'm an Arsenal fan, and there isn't any Real Madrid in the Premier League. I mean, you can say Man City or Real Madrid, but you know what I mean. We haven't got a team that's about to get maybe two or three generational talents in one go, which again, is terrifying because seeing that team, the way they play, and already just the way it's already clicking. Ancelotti has got something brewing that's so strong, and he's really just turned everything around in my eyes. And I mean, Mbappe in this team and Endrick in this team as well. Just I don't see anyone beating that team. I don't see anyone really being the out and out kind of force to fight them in the UCL. Obviously, in my mind, I would want Dortmund to win the UCL. That would be huge. Uh, would be amazing for Marco Reus and you know everyone involved as well, Hummels and all the other players there. But after watching that last or this last night, I just can't say that the Dortmund are going to win. I think Real Madrid are going to absolutely slump them. I don't think it's going to be a fair exchange, fair game. I think it's going to be completely just obliterating Dortmund. Honestly, I just don't see them kind of putting up a fight against that type of attack. And everything about Real Madrid is just so every position is so exquisite and so factored and tailored so perfectly with the players that it has. I mean, Rudiger in defence, amazing. Modric in midfield, amazing. Kroos in midfield, amazing. Vinny Jr. up front, Rodrigo up front. See, this is the dilemma with Real Madrid. They've got this massive dilemma where it's literally a case of they have so much talent, they don't even know what they're going to keep and what they're going to sell. Even so, when they do sell something, it's going to the player's going to go for like 60 million plus. It's not going to be anything small time. You know, they're in possession of some very high value players, and next year it's only going to get worse and only going to get worse. And I just don't see many other teams competing against this Real Madrid team. I don't see them competing against the Real Madrid team that's going to be coming in next season. I don't see anyone that's really on the level right now. And obviously, I know that City definitely should have won in their game, and they had that big kind of possession and chance created type stuff going on. But at the end of the day, Real Madrid still got through, and it's about the games like that you win. They won it in the end. They defended very well. They may have had a bit of luck, but that's football, so you can't really do much about that. But now, with this reinforcement coming in, is there really anyone that's going to stop that attack? Is there already a defence in the world that's going to be able to stop Mbappe, Endrick, and Vinicius Junior? And even so, there could be a situation where he plays four attackers, and I mean that could look very dire for a lot of teams. I think we're going to witness probably some of the biggest score lines we've ever seen ever from next season. I think there's definitely going to be them types of games, especially in the cup games for Real Madrid. So this is the situation that we're all facing now, and we all want our team to do well. If your team is in the Champions League or La Liga at the same time, but I don't feel like there's many of us that sit there and have hope. I think that a lot of people have probably just kind of given this UCL already to Real Madrid, which is fair enough. I think that's fair enough. I don't see a problem with that. What I do see a problem with is the generational talent is all flocking to Real Madrid. So realistically, what's going to come the Premier League's way? What's going to come, teams like that's way? Not a lot. I don't think there's going to be a lot. I mean, the ideal situation would have been that Mbappe would have come to England, and I feel like England would have been a much bigger challenge in terms of I think the league has fallen off in a way, but it's definitely coming back now with all this going on. Obviously, I can't say the league have fallen off because Real Madrid is in the final, but it's Real Madrid, so they're like literally the champions of this tournament. But now, we've got maybe, you know, a few months until certain players join Madrid and everything gets started up. And next season, I just feel like it's going to be carnage. We've seen a lot this year of just Real Madrid obliterating teams. We've seen a lot of their, in a sense, their kind of B team, because this is not the finished product, which I have already said, but like, I just want to reiterate that this is not the finished product. There's only going to be more, and there's only going to be more talent, and they're going to have to move some people on. Yeah, sure, but when Kroos leaves, when Modric leaves, they're not going to replace that midfield with mid-tier players. They're going to be going for the best of the best. When I think they're going to be looking at, maybe Declan Rice as a option. There's plenty of other options out there in midfield, but I really do worry for the next kind of 5 years in the UCL, because I want to see someone win it who ideally isn't Man City or Real Madrid. That's basically what I think. I would absolutely love to see Dortmund win it this year. I don't think they're going to though, so can only hope. That is the only real bit of hope that we can kind of have. But even so, next year comes around, they got all the players in, they got everything going for them. I think they're just going to turn everyone over, and man, I wish it weren't this way. I really do. I really do wish it weren't this way, but I can't argue with that, with the team, with the dedication. I mean, tonight they were amazing. They looked down and out in the 76th minute, and yeah, there was a stroke of luck with Neuer, but at the end of the day, like, they were ready to pounce, goal, moves on, very quickly, gets to the end of the game and they score again, and that's the dedication, that's the mentality of this team. And it's like, you don't want to play Real Madrid. No one wants to play Real Madrid. I literally was over the moon knowing that we wouldn't have to play them, but obviously next year there could be anything happening. There's a whole new draw. There's a whole new everything. So there's no real satisfaction, for us other fans that are in the Champions League next season. I think that obviously the goal for most teams will be just to get further enough to get enough money and use that for the next season and stuff. Which it is a shame. I wish I could see some real dark horses come through and do something crazy for the world of football, but I just don't think it's going to happen. And I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, well, Madrid are cheaters, because that's definitely not what I'm getting at. I just think they're so good, and the way they're run is so amazing. I think the recruitment is probably the best in the world. I don't think there's many other recruiters that are as good as Real Madrid, and obviously they have the best pull. Everyone wants to play for Real Madrid. Who wouldn't want to go to a sunny country and play football for the best team? Let's be real. Everyone's going to want to do that. So it's going to be a long, maybe decade, maybe 2 decades. You don't even know at this point. I mean, yeah, obviously teams run their course, and we could have 5 years time, and Mbappe might just be like, you know what, don't even want to play here anymore, go somewhere else. Cool. But even so, I guarantee you they'll be looking at that next big superstar that's coming up, just how they've done with Endrick, just how they did with Vinny Jr. Like, Vinny Jr. was meant to go to Barcelona, and that ended up falling through because Real Madrid literally just went, bang, we want him. And that's the difference between Real Madrid and every other club. It really does feel like they have a different type of pull. And I just don't think a lot of people can compete with it. And obviously, it's one of them things where you sit there, you're upset about it, but you got to admire it. And I got to admire the manager. I got to admire the players that played tonight as well, which is so good. I mean, Ancelotti is pretty up there in the top 3 best ever managers, in my opinion. I mean, the amount the man's won. I mean, he got so bored at one point, he started doing side quests. He went to Everton, of all people. I've never seen anything so mental in my life. Like, I've never seen that. Ancelotti on the touchline at Everton was just absolutely mental. And, when he was there, he was absolutely just blitzing people in a way that Everton team was decent. And everyone had every Everton fan was happy for about 6 months to 8 months, then bang, he was just gone again, because realistically, Ancelotti should not be at Everton. He should be at Real Madrid. And this is proven it time and time again. Like, will there ever be a situation in the Champions League where Real Madrid are down 1 goal and they don't bring it back? That's how I see it. And every single time, I never count them out. I literally have never once counted Real Madrid out of a situation like that when they're 1 goal down, and they need to bring it back, and they brought it back in some style tonight. I mean, it weren't nothing compared to the Man City one, but in terms of the other a few years ago, but it was still amazing. It was still great dedication. It's scary. A lot of us probably are hoping that that new front 3 that they're going to get next season doesn't actually perform, kind of like with the PSG, Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe. It didn't really kind of kick off that well, and ended up not really working. Maybe too many superstars in the team. But I think they got a really good balance, and I think that that's the main part for them. Once they got that balance, they're going to take over Europe again. They did it for a very long time, and I think they're going to do it again. And I think that's just because of the way they're run. The mentality is amazing, and just the recruitment. I just can't get over it, man. I can't get over it. To get Mbappe and Endrick in the same team, I mean, I guaranteed you they're going to start eyeing up Haaland in the next 2 years. Like, what is that team going to be? Like, realistically, I mean, that's going to be like a proper Super League team, and that's what's scary as well, because that's what it's kind of linking with now. But yeah, I mean, a great match, a great watch. I enjoyed it so much. I decided to come down and make a video. Right now, I cannot make a video in my normal setup because I'm currently doing something to it. So I'm literally just downstairs filming against a white wall. So I appreciate everyone that's been supporting as well. If you could leave a like on this, it is a lot of dedication to bring everything down here and film. So it would be amazing if you could leave a like on this and subscribe if you haven't already.